Welcome back to Korean Tapas, episode 20, summer break. Last episode before our summer break. Oh, but no worries. We will be back in September with more episodes. With me on one side, the country boy from Seoul, Minki. How are you?
I'm great. As we discussed before, I went to my countryside for doing 제사, for a ceremony to our ancestor. So I'm full now. Like I'm heavy. I ate too much.
But that's happiness. That's fantastic. Food is happiness. On the other side, city boy, Jisang Kim. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, guys. So yeah, I have some great news to share with the listeners as well. I have bought tickets to South Korea.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome,
Finally.
welcome.
Welcome, welcome. I'm very excited. I'll be flying in October, and definitely, you guys, I'm looking forward to meet with you and eat food and even record an episode there. So it's gonna be so much fun.
Finally, I'm getting to meet a guy from Cyberworld.
From the internet. Who is this guy? Exactly. Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward. All right, so talking about summer, talking about trips, talking about vacations. I had questions and I want to compare notes with you on what usually happens as well, usually like Seoul, Korea, Spain, Barcelona. So first question I would have for the round here in general, because I know each sector or each profession has its own sort of rules, but in generally, how many days of vacations do you have in Korea?
So basically, this is the rule. When a new employee, or regardless of his or her previous career, when a new employee comes to work in a new company, for in the first year, only 1 day is given after per month. So which means there will be 12 days in the first year. But from the year two, 15 days are given at once. And as far as I know, every 3 years, one extra day is going to be added. And another thing, there are, especially in some big companies and companies from manufacturing industry, I have heard that they have a week or two vacation apart from the legal vacation days that I mentioned above.
Yeah. When I was in LG Electronics, the fabrication is summer break. So the factory needs summer break. So the exact date is normally first week of August. They shut down all factory, the all members. So even though I worked not in a factory, but in on the office too, office guy needs to do the summer vacation too, exact same day for working efficiently.
Well, I'm already seeing that you guys work so hard. A question for you, Jisang. You said that you get 12 days in the first year, and then you get more and more in the following years. What happens if you change company? Does this get reset, and then you start over from 12?
I think Mingi can explain about that thing because he recently changed his company.
So like the former company's vacation is totally gone. So you have to restart the whole thing into the new company. So as Jisang said, 1 day for 1 day vacation for 1 month. So I worked like 4 months in new company. So I only have 4 days vacation, but I spent already like 7 days. So I have minus 3 days vacation now. I can get minus vacation.
Yeah, I see. That's very tough then. If you, I mean, I guess this promotes like loyalty that you have to stay in a company very long because you have more vacations. If you change companies, like it's worse for you because you get reset. That's harsh. In Spain, if you have like a regular full contract, 40 hours a week, they give you 2.5 days a month, right? Yeah, it's more than double, right? So in a year, apart from the national holidays or local holidays, you would have around 22 days a year, right, for free vacations. And as you were saying before, like LG maybe gives you more. In my case, my company gives us 7 more, so it's 30. Even if it's like you're the first year in the company or 10 years in the company, you get 30 days. So
But you
it's
just said that 2.5 days per month. So then, in that case, as we have 12 months in a year, there will be 25 days. I mean,
It's more or less like what Minky was saying before, that if you work like maybe half a year only, they give you more or less. That's a ratio, right? Yeah, I think 22, 23. I think it also depends on the sector, but average would be like 22. Yes.
That's very amazing, because in usual companies in Korea, the I mean, not the employees, those executives in very high management level has the similar number of the days for vacation here.
So yeah, feel free to come to Spain to work. It's gonna be fantastic.
Let me work, please.
I have a question. Like my senior, even though they have like 25 or 30 days vacation, they cannot spend the all day. Like they just, what can I say? They just erase the vacation. They don't use at all. They use like for 10 days or 15 days and most. So 7 days or 10 days they lost.
Wow. So, I mean, here you can transfer some of your days from, like, let's say this year to the next year. Let's say that I haven't spent everything. I can transfer just a small number of them to the next year, and I have to spend them in the first months. But it's quite illegal not to take them. Like
Oh,
you're forced to take vacations. Like
forced to take
otherwise,
vacation.
yeah, yeah. Otherwise, companies would force people not to take them. They would say, if you take vacations, I fire you, things like that. So hereby, yeah, it's a law. You have to take them. You gotta take the vacations.
Wow.
Here in Korea, I'm not super expert in this area, but I've heard that in some companies get paid for the unused days of their vacation. Is that kind of thing also exist in Spain?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think also depends on what sector or what yeah, industry you're working on. I think that's possible, but up to a certain point. I think you cannot say like, yes, I'm pay you for all the vacations, you get nothing. I don't think that's legal. No, I think a fair amount it's possible, but then there's always like trickeries in regarding contracts. Like I remember my brother was working on a company where they were just doing short contracts over 1 year, and he got no vacations because he would simply reset the contract every few months, and it was like a temporal contract which you don't get vacations from, and it's like tricky things. But usually, if you're regularly employed with, like we call it here, contrato indefinido, like no ending, indefined contract, then you get, yeah.
So the purpose is using vacation.
Yeah, you gotta use them. Yeah, just use them. Otherwise, people get burned, depressed, not happy, things like that. All right, so that's awesome. That's awesome for us, not for Korea. I'm sorry, but as I said, come here to work. So okay, you said that LG closes on August. Is this like normal in any other like sector? Do you usually people want to close in August, or is it more June, July, or maybe winter? I don't know. What's a preferred vacation month or periods?
In young generation, I think that people want to use not in August or July because July and August is all are expensive. Hotels, comida, like food, they are all expensive. So they want to use the other days for vacation. But however, the seniors usually they want to use people to use vacation on July or August. So again, working efficiently. So yeah, like people are getting confused now. Like young people go July or not July, September or October, but senior said no.
Right. Yeah. I mean, sure. Here as well, it depends on where you work, right? I mean, I know that people work like in supermarkets. They are forced to take vacation in certain periods. Maybe like they say, okay, maybe this year you have to take June. Maybe next year you will take July. Maybe the next year you will take August. They don't have much freedom because there's so many people. They need to coordinate, right? And I'm lucky enough that my company, more or less, we have freedom. Always, we need to have somebody like be here working, but more or less you can always try to move things around, and you can get months. In my case, yeah, I don't know. I also don't like much August and things like this. It's so hot. It's better to be in the office cold with AC. Prices are super high. What about you, Jisang?
You mean my preferred vacation period?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I think until now I've taken my vacations during the peak season usually, and as Minki just explained, in Korea, we generally say that vacation season, so-called vacation season, is from late July to mid-August. So, and I've been taking many days off during that season as well. And apart from that, we also take. I mean, many people here in Korea take their vacation at the end of the year around the Christmas season.
That's also good. Yes, agreed.
Especially there are lots of people who haven't used their vacation days, so they probably spend their rest of their unused days at the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah. I think here also depends. I know I have friends who have kids, right? And because of kids, they finish school around the end of June. They have almost like 2.5 months of vacations. They of course need to take the vacations when the kids have vacations, because otherwise, how do you take care of them, right? Or you have to pay for some sort of Boy Scouts and things like that, where you take the kids and you put them there for how many hours. So yeah, it also depends on your lifestyle. If you're single or a couple or with kids, I guess it depends. Awesome. What would you say people choose the like destination when you go to vacation? Is it more like mountain? Is it more beach? I know here in Spain, people look for like August, June, July for beach is the most common, right? Sure, there are people that like to go into the mountains and hike and whatever, but you will see it in TV, you will see it everywhere. The beaches are super crowded. Everybody wants to go near the water because it's so hot and so humid. What about there?
Here, actually, that question is quite often asked to many people. That's like among we sometimes call the balance game. It's like choosing one option between two options. It's very, I mean, recent trend here in Korea, and mountain versus beach is one of the good examples from that. And it seems like many older generation prefer going to mountains rather than going to beaches. But uh, during the pandemic, I don't know why, but climbing has become one of the most popular hobby among young people as well. But in my case, I prefer beaches for sure.
In my case too, like even though I personally prefer mountain in summer vacation, I somewhat got enforced to go to the beach with family or with friends, whoever. They always want to go to beach. So like it's actually not my opinion.
You're forced peer pressure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like to go to Busan and go to the beaches, the crowded beaches of Busan? I've seen the pictures. Yeah, it's looks terrifying. Google it if you haven't. If you're listening, look for summer Busan, and you will see what I mean. Very cool. I mean, I've always seen like in drama TV shows, people go always hiking. So I see what Jisang is saying about hiking. I guess it's a trend now. Cool stuff. Okay, so we have already established that we like beach, mountain, whatever. August, September. Is there any like you know me? I like food. Any special food during summer break, summer season?
Special food for the vacation season.
Or summer, because I know that sure, if it's winter you probably have more hot soups and things like that, but I'm wondering if there's anything that our listeners don't know about. What can you get in Korea for summer? Like, do you still eat?
I can basically think of uh, three food. I mean, including dessert. We enjoy eating cold noodle. We call it naengmyeon. It's simply a noodle with very sweet and sour um, soup inside. It's very common among Korean people, but I've heard that for the foreigners, it's a little bit difficult to enjoy it. And the second one is what else? We also have another sort of cold noodle with bean inside. I don't know how to translate that in English, but the soup inside is made of ground bean, so the taste is a little bit thick and probably not very familiar to many people, I guess.
I did try Naengmyeon back in, I don't know, 2015, and it's a strange feeling because you expect a soup or noodles or quote unquote, ramen is not ramen, I know, but you expect it to be like hot, right? And then it's like a block of ice inside it, and it's like it cold drink. I don't know. It's interesting. I found it interesting. I liked it.
Probably the feeling that you felt is the feeling that I had when I tried the cooked banana for the first time.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Cooked banana? What do you mean, like fried banana?
Yeah, fried banana, exactly.
Oh.
It was very strange feeling, yeah, for me.
Is this a Spain thing or is it like Chinese thing? I don't know. I always eat it when I go to Chinese restaurants.
I had it when I went to Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I've also tried fried apple.
And I've also heard that in South America as well, they eat like fried bananas.
Plátano.
Yes, yes, exactly. In Venezuela, and still they like what do you call it? Patacon, I think it's called. Yeah, it's very good. So, what about you, Minky? Any special recommendation for food if I have to go to Korea in summer?
Okay, Korea. There is an old saying that if you're in hot weather, then you have to fight with hot soup. We have it. So in summer, we usually eat samgye-tang. What is the chicken soup?
But it's like hot.
Hot, very hot. And the other is dog soup. Or there were already always two soup, but nowadays the people not enjoy dog soup. So
Dog.
wow. So nowadays there's only one food, hot soup for chicken or duck. I mean, what duck. So chicken or duck soup is we usually enjoy in summer.
Yeah, that's another episode that we have pending, talking about dog and rabbit. These two animals are funny. Yeah, in Spain, I think you will see a lot of, tinto de verano, like people drink like wine with soda, make it like this. But like special foods for summer, I cannot think of. I mean, you still have, paellas and stuff, and it's hot, but you eat it anyway. I guess, sure, ice cream everywhere, but special, like, sort of.
Gazpacho, no?
You are right. Yes, it's very typical. Gazpacho and salmorejo. Salmorejo as well. It's a little bit different. It's true. Salmorejo, I think it's with more bread. Yes, and gazpacho, the tomato soup, right? Tomato soup. Cool. You're right. That's for summer. Although you can also eat it in winter, no problem. But yes, you're right.
I have just question not about only in summer, but about the vacation. In Korea, if we request our vacation, and some people ask the reason. Why do you want to go to vacation? Is it sounds normal?
Sounds very not normal. I mean, what does the boss care about if where you go on vacation or what do you go on vacation for? I mean, unless it's a special vacation. If it's like if you are getting married or things like that, you can request a special set of vacation, right? I think in Spain, when you get married, you get 15 or 20 days free. I think that then you have to justify, right? But if it's a regular vacation, I want the days, and you should not ask me where I go or what I do.
But Ricard, please don't think that every Korean company is the same. I always say
I guess.
in many cases, Mingi's example is quite extreme.
Salaryman in Seoul, yeah. I guess.
Especially in many big companies in Korea. I mean, the bigger ones usually have more conservative values in terms of like the communication, I guess.
Well, you would think otherwise. You would think that these super top brands in the world, like LG, Samsung, and all those things, you would think that they are maybe more open and more westernized. I don't know if that's the word, but you're saying the opposite. So interesting.
I think in general, like the small or new companies, like startups or those kind of companies, are usually like very. I mean, they have the atmosphere, like just you mentioned, I guess.
No, that's nice. That's nice. More modern, open. I like it. Then I could work on those, yeah. I see, because I always think about I can never work in Korea because you work so much. But now you're saying that there are startups that are more friendly, and then I could go there. Fantastic. Then we finish with a question for the listeners. Do you have any summer plans, any summer vacations planned? How do you spend your summer? Then leave us a comment. Would love to hear from you. And that's it. Thank you so much, Minki, Jisang.
감사합니다.
My pleasure.
감사합니다. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Have a great summer.
See you in September.
Bye bye.